So, how big is the band now, currently?
We have 175 students in the band.
All play at the same time or different days?
Different groups. So the beginning band has 60 kids in it this year. The advanced band has 80 students in it, and the jazz band has 24.
Okay. And then you have the percussion.
Yeah, and there's 8 kids in the percussion class.
8 kids in the percussion class. So the percussion class, what type of percussion instruments do you have inside there?
So they learn the mallet instruments, xylophone, marimba, the bells, and then they end up playing timpani, snare drum, bass drum, and auxiliary smaller instruments like triangle, shaker, tambourine. So those students, we learn percussion ensemble pieces, and then they also play in the drum line for the Christmas parades.
Oh,
and then,
okay.
So they learn to march and play, and then they also play with the concert band when we perform all together.
So 60, I believe you said in the beginning?
Yes.
So you have students coming in, not too much knowledge or about, so you have to start more or less from ground zero,
Yep.
teaching them how to hold the instrument.
Yep, how to hold the instrument, how to breathe properly, how to produce a sound, how to read the music.
Wow, that's a,
That's matching the correct pitch, yes.
So that will take,
It takes some time.
right, before they could even begin playing a song.
Right.
So that process of getting them to at least have an idea of the instrument, where the notes are. I mean, how long would that take before you say, well, okay, let's learn this piece, which would be a very basic piece, I imagine.
Yeah. So the beginning band does their first concert in December, and we usually start, like all the kids have their instrument, and we start playing at the beginning of September.
Okay.
So we have a beginning band book we learn out of. So we start by learning like 3 notes, and we play a lot of songs with those 3 notes.
Oh, okay.
And then we gradually add more notes, kind of to expand their vocabulary on their instrument and learn more rhythm, more complicated rhythms.
Right.
And which then can translate over to learning a piece of music.
Right. Wow. That's really nice. That's heavy.
Yeah.
That's great. So what's next? We are in 2024. It's March, at the end of March. What's coming up for where are you going to be performing next, or what's in stone for the Howard Middle School band?
Well, the jazz band is going to get kind of busy in the next 2 months. They're performing at a Lakeside Jazz Festival in Port Orange, Florida.
Oh.
So we're preparing 3 jazz charts, different styles, a swing chart, Latin chart, and funk chart.
Mm.
And we'll go perform for judges, and they give out prizes, trophies at the end of the night for like best soloist or best section and different things like that. We get to hear other middle schools and high schools and colleges from around the state perform as well.
Where did you say this is taking place?
That is in Port Orange, Florida,
Okay.
over by Cape Canaveral.
And the name of the festival is
Lakeside Jazz Festival.
Lakeside Jazz. And when does that happen?
We'll be there on April 19th.
April
The
19th.
festival happens over the 19th and the 20th.
Okay, that's interesting.
And then we'll be playing on the 30th at your International Jazz Festival that you're hosting at the
Yes.
Mary Lou Center.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, so that is International Jazz Art and Poetry Festival, and I'm grateful for you blessing us with the opportunity to come and play there, because the Ocala Steel Orchestra, at some point, Brittany and myself will do another podcast to talk about merging the band with brass and woodwinds and stuff with the Ocala Steel Orchestra to do an event. So you may want to start saving up some money for that, because you may want to start saving for that. It's going to be a really interesting collaboration to see the steel pan instrument, which is created and made in Trinidad and Tobago, which is where I'm from. So start saving. You don't have to save a lot of money. It would not be more than maybe $50, okay? So just start putting that aside, okay? And we'll let you know when that time is right.
Yeah.
Wow, so I like the journey, which began tap dancing. Help me. You also
Gymnastics.
did gymnastics.
Horseback riding.
And horseback riding, which you still do today.
Yes, I ride 100 jumpers. I started riding when I was 5, and my parents surprised me for my 11th birthday with my own pony.
Whoa. Okay.
And then I moved up to a horse when I was in high school, and I started horse showing. So like the event that just happened at the Equestrian Center, I would show it, those kind of events growing up.
So you're on that level where you...
Not quite that high. I'm still considered an amateur.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of times these days I get to ride horses that are being trained.
Right.
To eventually be ridden at that level. So younger horses that are learning the skills that it's needed to jump.
Tell me something. The horse riding, does that to some extent, do you think that also enhances or inspire or is a connection to your music?
Yes, I think so. I think the process of training an animal to us learning our instrument can be related. Just the repetition, how many times we have to do the same thing over and over till it becomes a good habit and a skill that happens naturally. So that process is very similar. And when you ride a horse, it has rhythm.
Yes.
Different rhythms based on if you're walking or trotting or cantering. Those gaits all have different beats to them. So I think it does translate over to music as well.
That's brilliant.
And keeping a steady pace and rhythm is involved in riding, so it is kind of similar.
Yes, I like what you just said. So depending on what category you're in, you have to make sure this horse is keeping that same rhythm and not
right, yes,
shifting.
So, correct. So if we, I like showing in the hunters. So whenever you show hunters, you have to do a certain number of steps between each jump, and they like the course to look the same rhythm the whole time. So staying consistent, like the horse is just cantering, and then all of a sudden the jump just came up, but nothing changed when the jump appered. So they wanted to stay nice and steady. Where when you do the jumpers, you're trying for speed and to not knock any rails down. So it's a little different style of riding.
Wow. I mean, there you have it, folks. I mean, Brittany Schofield, I mean, it's, yeah, I know what you're saying. Wow. She is so connected, you know, and to be involved in music and to be also conducting a sizable orchestra. That's beautiful. And also playing in a big orchestra. How big is the community band? I believe it's...
we have usually between 80 and 90
80 and
members.
90 musicians. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we want to thank Brittany for allowing us to come in and chat with her about her upbringing, the fact that she is band director here at Howard Middle School. And I mean, when you learn about folks and how they were able to move from one to the next, you know, your appreciation for what they do changes, and it changed for me today as well, which I know it would for you. So we want to say thanks to Brittany once again for coming on the Ocala Arts and Entertainment Podcast. Sean Thomas, your host. Peace out. Thank you, Brittany.
Thank you.
All right.